If you're looking for the perfect balance between protection for off-road adventures and a step to help you get in and out of the truck a little bit easier, these rocker steps will be a great addition for your 2020 or newer JT Gladiator. These will be perfect for the JT owner who has added some height to their truck and needs a step into the cab to make it again easier, but also wants one that's going to take the heat if needed for any off-road trips. Even if you're not doing any off-roading and you want a step that's going to bring a more rugged appearance to the table rather than a more polished type of look, this set will also be a great choice to consider. These will have a tough build and one that provides good coverage to the rocker with the help of a pentagonal upper bar tucking very closely in to hide the pinch well, which also cleans up the appearance. Now the tubing on the outside will come out from the body and will be part of that slider, which will protect the rocker from any hits and will slide off of obstacles, as it kind of says in the name, thanks to the slightly tapered but very even tubing. Now the plate on top is where you're getting that step with the roughly 4-inch wide stepping surface in the front and roughly 3-inch wide in the back, which is going to offer some solid support, and there is going to be some raised cutouts on that plating, which are not only there for some better traction, but of course to add some rugged styling to the steps. These steps are going to be strong with a carbon steel construction, supporting weight very well and of course defending the Jeep from any hazards. Now on top of the steel, these will have an anti-rust 360-degree E-coating and a black powder coat that has a wrinkled texture for really good rust prevention. Now with the included brackets, these will also have a full bolt-on construction, so you're not going to have to worry about modifying or drilling in order to install these. These will come in at about $350, which is pretty average for a more heavy-duty side step. Now compared to others, this is going to have a compact and durable construction, as to where some may be a little bit larger, have a drop step, or other features, while this is going to stay up and out of the way and stay durable, which is going to give you that side protection. Now it's not, again, just going to be for protection. It is going to give you a good balance between both uses if you need a solid step up, which is going to fit very well if you have a hybrid driving style, making these a fantastic option for you. Install will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and should only take about 2 hours or so to get the job done. However, at this point, we can head over to our shop, check out a detailed breakdown on how you can get these onto your Gladiator at home. So that's going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
The tools you'll need for this project are 3/8 and 1/4 inch drive ratchet, a 10, a 13, and a 17 millimeter socket, a 10, a 13, and a 16 millimeter wrench. Hi everyone, today we're installing a set of rocker steps on our Gladiator, so let's get started. Now before we get started on this, it's very critical that you make sure that you've got the right brackets for the right position on the right side of the vehicle. So they should be all stamped with either like a DF for the driver front, a DC for the driver center, or a DR for the driver rear. And the same thing for the passenger side, PF, PC, and PR. Now, if you don't see those because of the finish that's on here, there's another way that you can tell. Looking at the front driver side bracket, the mounting bracket anyway, you'll see that there's no modifications whatsoever to this mounting pad here. Whereas on the driver's side center, this has got an angle cut on this mounting pad. That's how you can tell that this is for the center. And the rear has a little notch cut out into the side of the bracket. That's how you know it's for the rear. So the front has no mods, the center has an angle cut, and the rear has a notch cut out in it. So let's go ahead and get these mounted up underneath the vehicle. Now as you can see, we've got some pre-drilled holes from the factory in our pinch weld all the way down the side. So this is where we're going to mount our support bracket from here that mounts to our primary mounting bracket. So behind these two holes here, up underneath on the inside rocker, is where we're going to mount our primary mounting bracket. And to do that, we're going to be using an M8 by 35 bolt along with a flat washer and a lock washer. So you want to put your lock washer on the bolt first, then your flat washer, and then that will go up underneath the bracket like so, and into the threaded hole in the rocker panel behind the pinch weld here. All right, so we're gonna take our bolt with our washers, insert it into the mounting hole on the bracket. And then, like I said, our threaded hole is right up here inside the rocker between the first two sets of holes that are pre-drilled into the pinch weld. Now we're not going to tighten this up just yet. We'll wait till we get everything installed and then we'll go through and tighten everything up. All right, now we can move to the center and do the same thing for the center mounting bracket. And now we'll move on to the rear. All right, now we can go ahead and install our support bracket. And that's gonna go behind the pinch weld here, but the bolts are gonna go in through the front. So we're gonna slide this over the mounting bracket here, slide it up, line up our holes, and then we're using an M6 bolt with a flat washer, slide it in, put another flat washer on the back side, and then use one of the M6 nylock nuts to hold it in place. Now we'll do the same thing for the other hole. Now, once you've got that done, now we can go ahead and connect our two brackets together using this M10 bolt and two flat washers and a nylock nut. So we've got our flat washer on our M10 bolt, slide it through from the front, put another flat washer on it, and then put our nylock nut on. You can go ahead and follow this whole process for the other two brackets on this side. All right, now we're ready to install our side step. Now you want to make sure you've got the correct one for the correct side of the vehicle. So you want to make sure that the wider step is for the front door. So that way when you put it up there, you've got more room when you're getting in, and your passengers will have the narrower step. Now, we've also got these M8 combo bolts that have the flat washer and the lock washer permanently attached to them. Those are what we're going to be using to connect our board to our support bracket. Now we're going to go ahead and lift this up, and we've got two bolts to put in for each bracket, one on the bottom, one on the back side. So we'll go ahead and get these started. We just need to line up our holes. Now that we've got one started, we can go ahead and finish putting the bolts in for the other two brackets. All right, now that we've got this thing at least on the vehicle, we can show you exactly where these holes are at for these bolts. We've got one on the bottom side here, and we've got one on the back side here. So we're just gonna put in our combination bolts, make sure the brackets are lined up with the holes. And for now, we're just gonna go ahead and hand start them. Now this one on the back side here can be a little tricky sometimes, depending on your dexterity. All right, and now you can repeat this process for the rear. All right, now we can go ahead and start tightening everything up that we've got everything secured. So the first thing we're gonna do is tighten up the two bolts that hold our side step to our support bracket using our 13mm wrench. Now, if you've got a ratcheting wrench, it works great. If not, it'll just take you a little bit of time. Get the one on the back side. And now we can go ahead and tighten up the two bolts that go through our pinch weld using a 10mm socket and a 10mm wrench. So we'll hold our bolt with our wrench and then use our socket to tighten our nut. Now we'll do the same thing for the front bolt. Now we'll tighten up our mounting bracket to the inner rocker using our 13. And finally, we'll tighten up our bolt that holds our two brackets together using a 16mm wrench and a 17mm socket. We'll go ahead and tighten that up. All right, now that we've got one side on, go ahead and repeat that whole process for the other side.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of these rocker steps fitting all 2020 and newer JT Gladiators, and you can find these right here at extremeterrain.com.